Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Bright Spotlight. Have Joe Rogan scandals impacted his net worth? In the world of podcasting, Joe Rogan definitely stands out in contrast to podcasts hosted by Real Housewives cast members, which are fun and lighthearted. Rogan interviews people ranging from comedians and authors for the Joe Rogan Experience, and the episodes are often pretty serious. Joe Rogan has a $120 million net worth. According to Celebrity Net Worth, the publication notes that his annual salary is $60 million, and that number shows no signs of slowing down. This is definitely an impressive salary considering that it can be tough to make a living from having a podcast. Many people podcast as a hobby or try to sell enough ads so they can at least break even. Joe Rogan, however, appears to be raking it in. Joe Rogan's podcast makes a lot of money annually. According to Go Banking Rates, the podcast's annual earnings are $30 million, and the podcast is downloaded more than 190 times per month. Go Banking Rates also reported that in 2017, the Joe Rogan Experience allowed Rogan to make $5 million annually. He also made a lot of money from YouTube at that point, $20 million yearly to be exact. Many say that Rogan has become so rich as a result of making sure that his episodes were available on YouTube. It can definitely be a lucrative platform, even though Rogan is making more money than many people ever will in a lifetime. He doesn't seem to think that much about it. According to Essentially Sports, when he interviewed Chris DiStefano for episode 1947 of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan shared his approach to his bank account. DiStefano asked Rogan about being at the level that he is at and also staying present. Rogan said, "I would be a liar if I said that it happened. Like, it's a learning process, and I think once you have enough money, and I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people, once they get a ton of money, they want more and more and more, like, Jeff Bezos. Say I'm good, right? Bill Gates doesn't say I am good." Rogan continued, "But I think quality of life is the most important thing, right? Rogan definitely seems to like life with his wife Jessica Ditzel and their daughters. He has said nice things about them on his podcast and sometimes does delve into his personal life, even though he's often focused on interviewing the person whom he's sitting down with." How popular is the Joe Rogan Experience now? It seems that tons of people are still listening to the Joe Rogan Experience. According to Forbes, the Joe Rogan Experience got the #1 spot for 2022 Spotify podcasts. The podcast was #1 in 2021 and 2020 as well. Rogan's podcast wasn't the success it is today right now. According to Essentially Sports, he shared an episode on Christmas Eve in 2009 and used the platform Ustream. In 2013, Rogan shared his podcast on YouTube. Everything changed in May 2020. When Spotify paid Joe Rogan $200 million to be able to be the sole home of the Joe Rogan Experience. According to JREpodcast.com, around 11 million people listened to each Joe Rogan Experience episode. Datebook SFChronicle.com reported that when people began talking more about Rogan's podcast in 2022, Rogan discussed the situation in a video on his social media. He said that having conversations with his podcast guests is what he focuses on. Rogan said, "I'm not trying to promote misinformation. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've never tried to do anything with this podcast other than just to talk to people." Even though he is constantly chatting with people, it's actually pretty rare for Joe Rogan to be interviewed himself. It's possible that he doesn't want to give interviews as he spends so much time talking on this podcast. And it's definitely rare for him to speak about how he started the Joe Rogan Experience and how he made it the platform that it is today. However, Joe Rogan spoke about his background in martial arts with Black Belt Mag. And he explained that this was such an amazing and positive experience for him that he still thinks about it today. He feels that he does well today because of the sport. Rogan told the publication, "I wouldn't have achieved anything in life without martial arts. Martial arts was definitely the best vehicle for me to develop my human potential. I developed so much discipline and so much insight about life that I don't think I really would have learned otherwise. Rogan continued in his interview with Black Belt Mac that it's possible to have a similar experience with another sport, but he likes martial arts in particular because it's a unique activity. Rogan said, "You can learn some of those lessons from regular sports. But I don't think you have the same heightened sense of danger and the reward for winning. When you win in a martial arts tournament or a professional boxing bout, it is so much sweeter than a win in a basketball game." This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.